I know you're with us because you're listening, and thank you so much. We're so glad that you're with us. 1330 WEBY, Friday, Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups. Brandon Big B's in the house. Mike Shoesmith is in the house. So we're talking about this whole debate and the presidential election and Trump and Cruz and Rubio and natural-born citizen and Cruz being disingenuous. Brandon, right when we went to break, you said that Grace Voto, Dr. Grace, who was on the last segment, said something that you said you might have a slight disagreement. So take up from there.
Yeah, and nothing major, but she just said that she thought that the one mistake that Trump made was admitting that the reason he's going after Cruz's citizenship is because he's gaining in the polls.
Uh-huh.
And while I understand where she's coming from on that, I think that Trump's brutal honesty just further resonates with the people.
I agree.
It's no different than him refusing to back down on anything.
You know, let me just
anything.
Let me weigh in on that. So I watched Fox News today, and I'm not picking on Fox. It's just I usually keep my news there if I'm going to just kind of watch it through the day, see what's going on around the world. And they were talking about that, and every one of them were just lambasting Trump. Oh, he shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have done that. He should. And I'm screaming at the TV saying, well, you know, it didn't come across as something that was really smart. But on the other hand, wait a minute. It was the truth. And that's
honest.
why people love this dude.
Right. Well, and just the polar opposite of Ted Cruz. He can't tell you the truth about who he is, where he's from, was his mother a citizen or not? Does his wife, is she a Goldman Sachs VP? Does he have ties? Polar opposites is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's what's resonating with the American people.
What do you think, Mike Shoesmith? What do you think, Mike Shoesmith?
And why were his parents registered to vote in Canada? Something only Canadian citizens can do. I mean, it's really you know, if the guy does not just bow out and just throw his weight and support behind someone who can literally make America great again. Look, Walmart announced today that they're closing 269 stores. Walmart, 200, right? 216,000 people are going to be affected by this. All right. So here we have Walmart closing 200, and you know, people wonder what's going on with China. People are worried about the Chinese economy. Well, the Chinese economy is pinned directly to Walmart. I mean, if people aren't going to Walmart and buying stuff made in China, the Chinese economy is going to falter, and the Chinese economy is doing what it's doing, and the U.S. economy is faltering simply because Barack Obama is single-handedly destroying it. You know, there's 100 million Americans out of work as we speak, and the ones that are getting these quote-unquote jobs are wages that are a third to a quarter less than they were 10 years ago, and every analyst knows this. But listen, people email me all the time at ppsimmons@live.com. They say, "Look, why are you promoting Donald Trump? He went bankrupt 3 times." And this is what I was talking about when I say, people are relying on the stupidity of and I say the misinformation or the ill-informed nature of the American populace, the American electorate, because they just want to get on with their stinking lives, and stop having to be hyper informed all the time. And they say, "Oh, Donald Trump went bankrupt. He can't be much of a businessman." But listen, I mean, Walmart closed up 269 stores. Donald Trump closed 3 of his businesses. He owns this quote-unquote company, this great company that he keeps bragging about, which has hundreds of businesses underneath of it, 3 of which he allowed to go bankrupt. Why? Because they're not producing. Yeah. And Walmart announced today they're closing 269 stores. Why? They're not producing. What are they doing? They're opening 300 more.
Wow.
Because in areas where they will produce. That's how you run a business. And folks, that's how Donald Trump will run the country. He will audit, just like he does his own company. He audits these individual businesses. If they're not performing, he allows the bankruptcy laws of the country to take care of it so that the cancer in the individual business does not spread to the entire company. And this is what Donald Trump will do with the country.
All right, let me break in. Listen, we're slap out of time. Brandon, let me give you the last 30 seconds, and why don't you say a good word to the folks here as we close it down? We're out of time. We're out of here, Brandon.
No, listen, I agree with what Mike said. And a good word would just be this. Don't get discouraged by all the back and forth of the political process, but be involved. Educate yourself on what's going on in this country and what you can do to make a difference, because we're at the most critical time in the history of this country.
I think we are, and we've been raised up for such a time as this.